Have you ever found yourself, really skeptical about something? Like you need to see it, touch it before you can actually believe it.
Oh, absolutely. It's a very human feeling.
Right. And we often think of doubt as, well, the opposite of faith, maybe even a weakness. But what if that impulse, that urge to question, to really understand, what if that's actually a path? A way to get to a deeper kind of belief.
That's a really interesting way to frame it. And it's exactly what we're diving into today.
We're looking at it through the story of someone often called, maybe a bit unfairly, Doubting Thomas.
Yeah, Doubting Thomas.
Yeah.
Our focus for this deep dive is the Feast of St. Thomas the Apostle, which falls on July 4th, 2025.
Okay.
And we're grounding our discussion in the reading set for that day. So that's what you typically hear in church. We've got bits from Ephesians, pieces of Psalm 117, and crucially, the Gospel of John.
Right, the famous story.
Exactly. And we also have a reflection piece called The Blessed Path of Belief to guide us a bit.
So, our mission today, we want to really unpack Thomas's story, right? Get into that key moment with Jesus after the resurrection.
Yeah, that pivotal encounter.
And then kind of zoom out. What does it all mean for trust, for belief, for being part of a spiritual community?
How does deep skepticism sometimes lead to, well, these incredibly strong declarations of faith? That's the journey we're exploring.
Okay, let's dig in then. So, Thomas, one of the 12 apostles.
That's him, also called Didymus.
Which means the twin, yeah.
That's right. So the scene, according to John's Gospel, Jesus has appeared to the other disciples, his first appearance after the resurrection.
Imagine that room, the shock, the maybe joy, maybe confusion.
All of it, probably.
Yeah.
But here's the key detail. Thomas wasn't there.
He missed it.
He missed that first absolutely mind-blowing meeting.
And that absence, well, it leads to his reaction when the others tell him, right?
It really does. You can picture the others just buzzing, saying, "We have seen the Lord."
Yeah.
And Thomas's response isn't just, "Oh, really?" It's this incredibly firm, almost forensic statement.
Forensic, that's a good word, he says.
He says, "Unless I see the mark of the nails in his hands and put my finger into the nail marks and put my hand into his side, I will not believe."
Wow. So specific. It's not just show me proof.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's I need this specific, physical, tangible evidence. He sets this really high bar, a very physical bar for belief.
Yeah, and that really sets the stage, doesn't it? It builds the drama for what comes next.
Absolutely. So fast forward a week.
Right.
The disciples are together again, probably still behind locked doors, likely out of fear.
Still processing everything, I imagine.
Definitely. And this time, Thomas is with them. The air must have been thick with anticipation, maybe tension.
I bet.
And then, just like before, Jesus appears, right there in the middle of them. Locked doors don't matter.
And he says,
He offers that same greeting. Peace be with you. Calming. Familiar.
But this time,
it gets personal. Jesus doesn't just address the group. He turns directly to Thomas.
oh, wow, he singles him out.
Right. And here's the amazing part. Jesus basically repeats Thomas's own conditions back to him.
He heard him or just knew?
The text implies he knew. He says, "Put your finger here and see my hands, and bring your hand and put it into my side."
Exactly what Thomas asked for.
Exactly. And then he adds, "And do not be unbelieving, but believe." It's this incredibly direct, almost gentle invitation, offering the very proof demanded.
It's like he was waiting for Thomas, ready for this moment.
It feels that way. And Thomas's reaction, it's immediate and powerful.
Does he actually touch him? The text doesn't explicitly say he does. Right?
It doesn't. Whether he touches or not the sight, the invitation is enough. His response is just explosive faith.
He says,
"My Lord and my God."
just like that.
Just like that. It's arguably the most profound declaration of Jesus' divinity by any disciple in the Gospels.
From the one who doubted the most, demanding physical proof.
Precisely. He leaps from needing hard evidence to this absolute statement of faith. It says so much about that encounter.
Okay, so Thomas needed to see, maybe touch, to get to that point. But then Jesus says something crucial for us, for everyone who came later.
Right. He follows up Thomas's confession with this pivotal line. He asks Thomas, "Have you come to believe because you have seen me?"
And then the punchline.
"Blessed are those who have not seen and have believed."
Ah, there it is. The blessing for future generations.
Exactly. It addresses that very question.
Yeah.
What about those who can't physically see the risen Christ?
Now, there's a little note in our sources about where this line comes from, isn't there?
Yeah, just a small detail. One source connects a similar idea. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed, to Psalm 119, verse 2.
Okay.
But the liturgical reading itself, John 20:29, clearly has Jesus saying this directly to Thomas right after his confession.
Got it. But the core message is the same either way.
Absolutely. It highlights this unique blessing, maybe even a deeper kind of faith, for people who come to believe based on testimony, based on an inner conviction, without needing that physical proof Thomas initially demanded.
It's a call to a different kind of seeing, maybe. A faith that transcends the physical senses.
You could put it that way. A trust that goes beyond sight.
So Thomas has this very personal journey from doubt to this incredible declaration, "My Lord and my God." But faith isn't just personal, is it? It's also about community.
That's a great transition.
Okay.
Because Thomas, as an apostle, is foundational to that community.
And our reading from Ephesians chapter 2 really picks up on this idea of community, of belonging.
It really does. It paints this picture. It says believers are no longer strangers and sojourners.
It sounds kind of lonely, right? Transient.
Exactly. But instead, it says we become fellow citizens with the holy ones and members of the household of God.
Household of God, that sounds much more permanent, more connected, like family.
Precisely. It's about deep belonging. And then he uses this amazing architectural metaphor.
Ah, the building imagery. I remember this.
Yeah, it says we are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets.
So people like Thomas are literally the bedrock.
They are the foundation. And Christ Jesus himself is the capstone.
The what now? Capstone.
Yeah, the capstone.
Yeah.
It's the final stone placed at the top, the key piece that locks the whole structure together, gives it stability.
Okay, I see. So Jesus holds it all together.
Right. And if you think about Thomas's journey,
Yeah.
his doubt, his very real struggle, and then that powerful confession, it actually strengthens his credibility as a foundation stone, doesn't it? His experience makes his witness even more compelling for the whole structure.
That makes sense. It's not a perfect sanitized foundation. It's built on real human experience, including doubt.
Mm-hmm. And the image keeps growing. It says through him, the whole structure is held together and grows into a temple sacred in the Lord.
So it's not static, it's alive, it's growing.
Exactly. And then it brings it right down to the personal level. It says you, the listener, are also being built together into a dwelling place of God and the Spirit.
So it's not just some abstract concept about the church. It's saying you, personally, are part of this living building project.
You're an active participant. You're part of God's dwelling place.
Okay, so we're part of this amazing spiritual building founded on the apostles like Thomas, held together by Christ. What then? What's the point of the building?
Well, that's where the responsorial psalm comes in, Psalm 117. It gives the call to action.
And that call is?
The refrain sums it up. Go out to all the world and tell the good news.
Right. It's a command, almost, a joyful one. Go and share this.
It's a direct consequence of being part of this household. If you're part of something this good, you share it.
And the psalm gives the reason why, too. It's not just go tell.
True. It says, praise the Lord, all you nations. Glorify him, all you peoples. Why? For steadfast is his kindness for us, and the fidelity of the Lord endures forever.
Steadfast kindness, enduring fidelity. That's the good news.
That's the core message. So the solid foundation we just talked about, built on witnesses like Thomas, empowers this mission. Share God's unwavering love and faithfulness with everyone.
It all connects. Personal faith, community belonging, global mission. It starts with encounters like Thomas's.
And bringing it back to Thomas specifically, that reflection piece, the blessed path of belief, really emphasizes how his doubt is actually helpful for us.
How so?
It highlights that faith often grows through honest questions and a desire to encounter Jesus personally. Thomas's questions weren't seen as an endpoint, but part of his process.
Yeah, Jesus didn't scold him.
Not at all. That's the key point the reflection makes. Jesus did not reject Thomas, but gently invited him to believe, showing his wounds as proof of love.
Proof of love, not just proof of resurrection. That's powerful.
It shifts the focus, doesn't it? It's not about winning an argument. It's about revealing love and mercy, even amidst doubt.
It makes it less about intellectual assent and more about relational trust.
I think so. And the reflection connects this directly to our own lives. It says, in our own doubts, God meets us with mercy and reveals himself in ways we need.
So our own moments of uncertainty aren't necessarily failures.
I mean, they're invitations. Opportunity for God to meet us in a way that's specific to our needs, just like with Thomas. It suggests doubt can actually open a door.
An open door for a deeper encounter. I like that.
And the reflection wraps up with this idea. True blessing comes when we choose to trust in his presence, even when we cannot see.
Back to that. Blessed are those who have not seen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about moving, like Thomas did, Maybe not from physical sight, but from needing absolute certainty or tangible proof toward embracing trust. Trusting in God's presence even when the evidence isn't laid out physically before us.
Leaning into faith beyond the five senses.
That's a good way to put it. It's a different kind of knowing.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, thinking about Thomas, about faith, community, sharing the good news, what's the final thought for our listener?
Well, building on everything we've discussed, one of our sources poses a really good reflective question. It asks, essentially, how can you practice deeper trust in Jesus today, even when you don't see clear answers?
That brings it right home. How do you practice trust when things are fuzzy, uncertain?
Yeah. And it invites you to consider maybe those moments of uncertainty, the doubts you might feel. Maybe they aren't obstacles at all.
Maybe they're actually.
Paradoxically, yes. Pathways to finding a deeper, maybe more resilient sense of belief and connection in your own life.
Yeah.
Just like Thomas found his way through doubt to that incredible declaration.